Live from Dallas, Texas for the Money Show, I'm Adrian Manns. I'm here today with Kerry Given. He's with Parkwood Capital, and let's talk options. Let's talk conservative option strategies. What do you do with your money today if you're looking for a good strategy that's also conservative?
Well, my talk here at the show is going to be about how conservative investors should use options. Because unfortunately, a lot of people are selling kind of the get-rich-quick schemes with options,
right,
and that doesn't work very well. And so I would say in general, first of all, you can buy puts to protect your positions, protect your entire portfolio. But the other thing you can do is if you have a blue chip portfolio, you can increase your income by selling options.
So generally speaking, I mean, are you recommending covered calls? Is that the kind of a strategy that you're putting people in front of then?
Both that and selling puts.
Okay.
The advantage of the covered call, of course, is if I have let's say I have a position in Apple that I've had for years, and I may have a significant capital cost or tax gain if I had to cash it in, so to speak, capital gains gain. And so I may not want to sell calls against that, or if I do, I need to be cautious because I may end up with a tax bill. So that's one caveat. The other thing to always keep in mind is if I sell an at-the-money call, typically you'll find that on a blue chip stock, that's approximately the same as your dividend for a year. So It's not hard to double your dividends just selling one call a year.
It's a good strategy, right? Double the dividend. Now, what do you think about, my inbox is littered every day with emails promising me 1,000% returns if I trade options, and my response to them is always when they say they made 1,000%, I say, no, you didn't. But I feel like it almost does a lot of psychological damage to people out there who are just trying to do this the proper way, right? How do you suggest people overcome it? Do you just ignore the inbox altogether and educate yourself?
Well, I wouldn't say ignore the inbox because there are some good services out there, but it is unusual. I mean, generally there's a lot of hype. I mean, my first book I wrote, I titled it "No Hype Options Trading,"
right?
Because I had been through all this nonsense trying to learn myself, and so it's difficult. But on the other hand, a lot of the clients that I take on for coaching, I will talk to ahead of time, and many times I find that they have unrealistic expectations, and I will just politely say, "Well, I don't think you're going to be happy with me," and let them go. But it's unfortunate because a lot of my clients, they're really headed for, I guess, what I call the Holy Grail or something, and it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I find I did a speech this morning, and I was talking to folks, and I said, we get about 600 applicants a year for the training that we do, and we accept about 30 people. And that's based on, is it a good psychological fit? And I think that's what you're alluding to, right? Is it's got to be a good psychological fit when you're working with a coach. What's a coaching session look like when you handle it, or how many coaching sessions do you typically do with someone?
Well, it depends. Just like a couple weeks ago, I had a person come to me and they wanted a specific topic or two.
Okay.
And so I developed something custom for them, and it was just in a 2-hour session. In other cases, it's a full course, like I've had what I've called in the past options A to Z. I start out with a definition of what a call and a put is and so forth. And those are about 20 sessions typically. And then of course I have group classes from time to time. For example, I've got one starting 2 weeks from now that'll be just on the conservative use of options where I'm selling calls or selling puts. And so that'll only be about 6 weeks.
So is most of the coaching that you're doing one-on-one, or is there also classroom coaching?
There's both. A lot of it, I'd say the majority of mine are groups. So it's a course over several weeks.
Like group therapy for traders.
Right.
All right, and if somebody wants to find out more about what you're doing?
My website is parkwoodcapitalllc.com, and you can also find my email there, which is drdukeoptions@gmail.com.
All right, thank you. All right, for the Money Show, I'm Adrian Manns. We'll be back in a moment.